Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle.
What's going on, everybody? Man, Eric Wilson here at the National Scouting Combine 2025. And as you know, as I do each and every year, I get a chance to introduce the player to you. This is my man, Mr. Kevin Brewington. Sir, thank you so much. Appreciate you. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Tell the people where you're from, sir.
I'm born and raised from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I went to school at St. Augustine's University in Raleigh, North Carolina, graduated from there and transferred to Elizabeth City and finished my collegiate ball there.
Collegiate ball. So what did you play? What position?
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you the X or the Z?
Mainly slot. Mainly slot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I got to ask you, Kevin, where'd your love of the game come from?
My dad instilled it into me early. He's a coach. Always been a coach. He was a coach before I was born, and so just since I was born, I had a football in my hand.
Gotcha.
So it seemed like I was destined to play football. You know.
So then my next question is,
Yes, sir.
so your dad is a coach.
Yes, sir. Currently.
Why did you want to become a wide receiver?
So the crazy thing is, I played running back. When I started out, I was a running back.
Okay.
And so, as I got older, I realized speed-wise, I wasn't as fast as all the other running backs. But one thing that I always could do was catch.
Okay.
And so, I guess I used that to my advantage. And at one point, my Pop Warner coach had put me at tight end at one point. And I did pretty well there, but then that's when I ended up moving to Florida and I played receiver there. And so that's pretty much how that took off.
Okay. All right. So love of the game basically has been instilled from a family dynamic.
Yes, sir.
You transitioned always on the offensive side of the ball, though, from running back, one to tight end, now a wide receiver.
Yes, sir.
So have you ever considered transitioning to maybe that corner or safety? Because what I've heard from a lot of wide receivers who have made the transition from offense to defense is it gives them a better sense of how the game is played because now they get to see from both sides. So would you ever consider transitioning over to the defensive side?
So I'm a guy wherever you need me, I'll play.
Right.
And at the same time, early on in my years at St. Aug, at one point I was asked if I was interested in playing corner, but at the time I knew the work that I put into towards being a receiver.
Fair.
And so it was a situation where I'm betting on myself, and I'm honestly glad that I stuck with it because it led me all the way up until this point. But I'm not opposed to it, but it just I know the type of work that I put in towards receiver, and at the same time wherever a team or a coach needs me, I'm open to be able to do.
All right. My question that I ask every single athlete when they come to the National Scouting Combine, sir, is you cannot choose which team you get to play for. However, if you had the ability to pick, which NFL team would you want to play for? And more importantly, what team and why?
All right, so as far as that, I don't...
Hold on. Stop you right there.
Okay.
I'm going to be very clear when I say this.
Yes, sir.
We don't do the politically correct answer here.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
I understand that you want to play for anybody. Yeah. I understand that any opportunity that comes across your desk, your path, you will accept because it is an opportunity to be a part of the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. Correct. We don't do that here. Okay? We manifest what we want. Yes, so, sir. I'm going to ask the question again, and I'm going to need an answer.
Yes, sir.
If you could play for any NFL team, which team would it be and why?
The Carolina Panthers.
Okay, why the Panthers?
Because it's close to home.
All right.
Plain and simple. If I was in that environment and on that team, it'll just be a whole lot easier for my parents and my family to be able to come to more games. And if I was out of state and everything of that sort, it would be a whole lot more difficult. So I'll say the Carolina Panthers just because of that reason.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So homegrown talent gets to play on a professional level for his team and have the ability every 9 home games to be looking up in the stands, see mom, dad, aunties, uncles, brothers, cousins to the whole 9.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes, sir.
Kevin, man, thank you so much.
you so much.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Brewington, make sure you check this man out, 2025 National Scouting Combine with your man Eric Wilson. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with my man Cameron Alves. Cameron, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. So where did you play ball, sir?
So grew up, born and raised, Cranston, Rhode Island. Spent 4 years of my undergrad at Stonehill College, and then just finished up this past fall at Central Connecticut.
Okay, and what position?
I'm a slot receiver.
Slot receiver. All right, so what about the offensive side of the ball, more importantly, that position do you love so much?
For the offensive side, the creativity of it. I mean, I feel like everybody has an art, and they can put it on their canvas however they want. But slot in general, I feel like the slot is a very versatile position. You do a lot of everything. You know, block, you can do a little bit of running, and obviously you do your route running as well. So it kind of connects to all phases of the offensive game.
Is there a particular player that you base your style of game on?
Yeah, growing up in New England, I gotta say, I'm a big Julian Edelman guy. So
I was going to say Amendola or Welker,
Yeah,
but
I
okay. All right, I got you. What separates you from other slot receivers?
I'm son of a coach, and I grew up playing quarterback in high school, so I can see the game from that lens, and I feel like it's helped me grow in my college career. I'm able to understand what the goal is as a whole as an offense, rather than just the individual receiver.
So what lessons has your dad, being a coach, what has he taught you about, excelling your game to that next level?
I could sit here all night and talk about the X's and O's side of it, but really, just about the grit and the commitment it takes, just showing up day in and day out. Just getting to that finish line, waking up and doing what you don't want. And as far as the X's and O's, it's a numbers game, and at the end of the day, you have X amount of numbers to one side and X to the other, and you got to execute where your power is.
All right.
That's pretty much the philosophy.
No, listen, I totally understand, and that's a great answer. So my question that I ask all the athletes, if you could pick any NFL team to play for, which team would you want to play for and why?
I think I'm going to shock a lot of people with this and say the New England Patriots.
Listen, they are in that phase where they need to build that team once again and put themselves back on the map from where they once were for 2 decades. So talk to me then, if given that opportunity, what's the one thing you bring to that organization that's going to help them get back to, being AFC East champs and potential playoffs?
I think I'd reinstill that fire that those guys you just had mentioned brought, the fluidity and, the grit to the offense that they had for 10, 15 years, 20 even, that they were a powerhouse. You had Welker, Amendola, Edelman, that phase and that role that individual carried with that offense for the amount of time we were dominant. I feel like that I could really instill that.
All right.
Hey,
Cameron,
pleasure. Thanks so much.
thank you so much. Be back in just a moment.
Hi, my name is Tim Rose. I'm the president and COO of Dolphin Key Worldwide Transportation. Welcome to our new 25,000 square foot facility located in Miami, Florida. For over 25 years, Dolphin Key Transportation has been the choice for discerning travelers who use our services on the east coast of Florida as well as the west coast of Florida, and we look forward to servicing you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, still here at the 2025 National Scouting Combine. Your man Eric Wilson with Mr. A.J. Jackson's in the building. Thank you, sir, for joining me. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Do me a favor, introduce yourself to the people.
All right, like you said, my name is AJ Jackson. I'm from Peoria, Arizona. I went to Centennial High School, graduated from Lake Forest College recently as well.
And what position do you play, sir?
I'm a running back, wide receiver.
Running back? Okay, so you're an offensive guy.
Yes, sir.
Where'd your love of the game come from?
My love of the game, it honestly started in middle school. There was a point in time where I was going to school for 10 hours a day, and then I would go to practice, and then I really wouldn't have much time for anything else. And so being able to express myself in that way on the field, have that moment to just be free.
Wow.
It really developed for me.
So I see on your arm you've got Unbroken.
Yes, sir.
You mind talking to me about that?
It was my first tattoo. I got it when I was 17 years old. My uncle actually did it on his couch. But the meaning of it, my mother has had 6 strokes. She has systemic lupus as well. I've been taking care of her since I was about 10. She recently just got a kidney transplant, and I got this maybe a year and a half before her kidney started to fail. But she never gave up, never wavered. Still with us, still full of life, still a joy to be around, and
That's amazing.
it's a reminder.
So I would ask where your drive and your passion come from, but we clearly have established that, man. And again, blessings to your mother to keep fighting that fight. You know, we heard from Mr. James Guidry earlier today, and one of the things he talked about was sacrifice.
Sure.
And, you know, you being here, not being with your mother, I know, but I'm just going to ask, her being your biggest supporter and your biggest fan, what does that mean to you?
It's honestly hard to say. 'Cause, I mean, you expect your mother to support you because she's your mother, but when it goes deeper than that, when she goes above and beyond to make sure she's at every game she can be at, regardless of her condition, then
Right.
it only makes you appreciate her that much more. I mean, it means the world to me. I wouldn't replace it for anything.
So,
I'm forever grateful.
yeah, the question that I want to ask all the athletes, and I do ask all the athletes here, if you could play for any team in the NFL and you could pick, which team would you want to play for and why?
Right now, it
Yeah.
would more than likely be the Arizona Cardinals, only because they're my hometown team.
Right.
I'd love to be able to be the face for some of those kids that I went to high school with that didn't really think they had a chance, didn't necessarily understand that it was possible, and so being able to be back home with those guys would make that.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
AJ, what would it mean to play at in Glendale, Arizona, and to be able to run out that tunnel, and as you run out that tunnel, your number one fan is there just cheering you on, man?
I'd probably break down and cry the first time. I don't even know if I'd make it all the way out the tunnel. my mom is a big crier as well. Very faithful woman. Her and I both. Not a woman, obviously.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm just getting emotional thinking about that, but I understand, and it's just, you know, it's one of those things where I really hope that blessing becomes a reality for you, man, because the bond between a mother and son is something that people just, if you don't experience it, you don't know what it is, and I can only imagine, you know, what you do on a daily basis to take care of someone who brought you into this world and who refuses to give up, who refuses to quit, and for you to be here and still chasing your dream and turning it into a reality and having that focus, but knowing in the back of your mind, you know, am I making the right decision? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I understand that. So I just want you to know, man, I wish you nothing but the best and many blessings for you and for your mother. And I want that for you.
Thank you.
I really do. I want to see you wherever you play. Of course, Arizona, you know, the Cardinals would be the place. And, you know, listen, Colin needs help anyhow. So I'll say it. You ain't got to say it. I'll say it for you.
I won't say it.
But I'm just saying, to experience that, man, like, I don't even know what that would be like, but I want that for you.
We've been praying about it for a while, and she's constantly manifested into the spirit. And
let's make it happen, man. You know what I mean? We here at 2025 National Scouting Combine. Mr. AJ Jackson, man. Many blessings to you and your family, brother. Thank you so much
sir.
for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, remain unbroken, for real.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back in a moment.
Tens of millions of tickets.
Tens of millions of tickets.
Tens of millions of tickets.
Thank you, VetTix. Thank you.
Thank you, First Tix.
Thank you, VetTix and First Tix.
Thanks to your support, the nonprofits VetTix and First Tix have given away tens of millions of tickets and counting to vets currently serving military, the immediate family of troops killed in action, and our brave, current, and former first responders. These tickets are a meaningful way to say thank you to America's heroes and help them re-engage with American life by giving them free, fun experiences and new happy memories that'll last a lifetime. And now, we want you to be part of the mission. Got extra tickets to concerts, games, or special events? Or want to see if you qualify? We want you to go to vettix.org and firsttix.org today. Give something to those who gave.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the 2025 National Scouting Combine. Your man, Eric Wilson. I am here with Mr. Bubba Arslanian. Thank you, sir, for joining me.
Appreciate you having me.
So, where did you play ball, sir?
I went to the University of Akron.
Okay. And what position?
I played linebacker there.
Linebacker. So the defensive side of the ball. Where did your love of the game come from?
It started when I was little. I was a three-sport athlete growing up. Played football, baseball, and I wrestled as well. But football really stuck out to me. It's a great team game. It takes everybody. But the ability to be able to go out there and hit somebody, punish them, and make some kids cry was always my favorite.
So linebacker position, there have been several great linebackers throughout history. Is there one in particular, whether they play now or have played in the past, that you focus your style on?
Yeah, so growing up, I always would watch highlight tapes, Ray Lewis, Patrick Willis, other guys like that, hitters, people that are going to go fill the run game, and contribute, be leaders on the field, on and off the field. So really contributed to my game, I think.
And you started playing at what age?
4.
Oh, okay. So let's just take high school and college. Was there a coach or was there someone who inspired you to not only be a great linebacker, but helped you develop into becoming that linebacker?
So I've had 6 position coaches in my years. So each one has really taught me a lot along the way. One that really stuck out to me was my sophomore year, Joe Tracy. Really developed me. He was hard on me. You make a mistake, you were going to get yelled at. So that really developed me. But Oscar Rodriguez really developed my tackling game as well. Matt Feeney, another great example. Chuck Amato, another one. He recruited me and gave me that opportunity at the D1 level.
So if you could, sir, play for any NFL team and pick that team, which team would you want to play for and why?
Probably the Detroit Lions. Yeah.
Why the Lions?
I think Coach Campbell does a great job connecting with his players, and I think I can really appreciate it in the coach.
Now they've got a new D coordinator now because Aaron Glenn has now become the head coach of the Jets. So what do you feel? How are you adding value to the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, this year they had a lot of injuries, so I had depth, I had special teams availability as well. I can long snap as well too, so another tool in the box for you. But I think I can contribute. I'm going to make people better. I'm going to go attack the ball. I think we can continue on their playoff run.
All right.
A little deeper.
I love it. Bubba, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Eric Wilson here at the National Scouting Combine. We'll talk to y'all soon. Everybody stay blessed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the 2025 annual event, which is the National Scouting Combine in Naples, Florida at the Great Wolf Lodge. I am here right now with Mr. Caleb Schaefer. Caleb, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you having me, Eric. Right on, man.
Thank you. Hey, if you wouldn't mind, man, just introduce yourself to the people.
Absolutely, man. My name is Caleb Schaefer. I'm from Indiana, went to Carmel High School, went to Miami of Ohio, played 4 years there. From there, I transferred to the University of Oklahoma. And then past that, man, I'm just still looking to play football and keep the dream alive. So that's what's led me here today.
All right, beautiful. So, again, where does your love of the game come from, man?
Man, for me, it was always just the aggressiveness, physicality, the contact. I remember being like 6, 7 years old. I forget exactly who was playing. I know the Lions were on for sure. That's all I remember. I had a football in my hand, and I was just running around, acting like I was getting tackled. I'd put the ball down, act like I was doing the tackling. I couldn't tell you what it was, man, but that physicality, smacking people in the face, just being aggressive, man, that really resonated with me. And as a kid, I had all that type of energy, but I didn't have something meaningful to put it into. I was grateful my elementary school teacher, saw some potential in me. And then from there, she told my mom, I think football would be really good for him to direct all this energy. And she went along with it, man. And then since I was 9 years old in fourth grade, football's been a part of my life, man, and it's given so much to me. So grateful.
What position do you play?
Every position except center on the offensive line. I have experience at left guard, left tackle, right guard, right tackle, and I'm willing to learn to play center. So if you ask me, honestly, I play offensive line. Whatever's required for the job, I'm going to do.
Fair enough. So, you talked about the aggression. You talked about channeling that energy onto the field. How is playing the offensive line, which as we know is a key structure, a key component of the game of football, because as we always hear about, it's done, games are won and lost in the trenches.
You're right.
So Caleb, you being one of those 5 or potentially 6 guys, talk to me about that brotherhood and how you are able to just be a leader amongst men.
Offensive line is a thankless position, man. You do what you do for 60 to 70 plays, and you're not expecting any other credit. If I'm doing my job, it's the quarterback, running back, and receivers and tight ends who should be getting the spotlight. What we're doing is just a byproduct, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I think playing offensive line has just really helped mold my character. In a society where we really glorify instant gratification and getting it right away, offensive line teaches you to get it the dirty way, man. You're going to have days where you're kicking people's butts and doing it, you just feeling like you're on top of the world. You have other days, man, where you let up 4 to 5 sacks. You don't even know why you're on the field, but you got to come out the next day and do it again. And so that relentlessness, man, and I think that's something I can take into being a good brother, son, father, and husband when it's time, just doing the thankless tasks and doing what's required of you, not because you're looking for validation from others, but because it's your duty, and so sharing that type of brotherhood with all 5, 6 of my guys, I'm telling you, that's why I love football, honestly. When they're conditioning, you sitting there puking your guts out, but you look to your left and your right, and you got guys going through the same thing with you, that creates a certain type of bond that not just any type of activity is going to create, Those adverse situations create inexplicable bonds I really can't get into, but when you see somebody going through the same thing you are and doing it the way you do, it just creates a new level of respect, and so grateful for all the relationships, teammates, and just great opportunities sports brought me.
No, I feel you on that, man, and I'm glad that you had a chance. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm asking every athlete who comes to the 2025 National Scouting Combine, you can't pick which NFL team you play for, but if you could, which team would you want to play for, and more importantly, why?
Like Reeve said, all 32 teams will be a blessing, but for me, I call myself an NFL fan. Some of the things I do see around the map, love what Dan Campbell's doing in Detroit. He has great leadership. Those guys play for each other. They're all about grit, toughness, and work ethic. I grew up a Bears fan, so watching them all the time, man, I just love, all the way back to '85, man, that Bears defense I wasn't even alive, but I can appreciate the grit, toughness, and resilience they bring. Mike Tomlin with the Steelers, he's been one of my favorite coaches just to watch, just because I love the character and how he uses his platform to glorify Christ and just bring his team together, man. That's what it's about. And then I'd probably say finally, what John Harbaugh and the Ravens do, I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan, love what they do, but John Harbaugh himself, just a leader of men, knows how to lead an organization and manage people and direct people. And so really just understanding the personnel and the people, like the logo and the brands themselves, it's going to be what it's going to be. But for me, when I look at these organizations, I look at the people and the leaders coming in and out of these buildings. And, once again, any 32 teams would be an absolute blessing, but those are a few that stick out to me for just having above average.
So we got
men.
2 in the NFC North.
Yes, sir.
And we got 2 in the AFC North.
That's right.
Of those 4, you got to give me one.
I got to give you one.
The number 1. So what I'm saying to you is, if you had all 4 phone numbers of all 4 head coaches, and I told you right now, Caleb, you could only call one of these head coaches, and they were going to offer you a tryout with a potential opportunity to be a rookie in this year's coming up draft.
Yeah.
Which number are you calling?
I'm calling the Bears. calling the Bears, got a lot of family in Chicago. That's really been on my heart for years, honestly.
Okay.
I just love what they got going out there, even hiring Ben Johnson, you know, brilliant offensive mind, just great people over there. And for me, just being, you know, you talk about fulfilling your childhood dreams and this, that, and the third, but to actually be able to put that jersey on and have that opportunity, man, it would just mean a lot. I really couldn't even get into, it'd be a 10-minute answer, but
but see, that's what I talk about when I talk to y'all athletes. I'm like, look, man, I get it. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to have that opportunity. And if you get the call, trust me, I understand. Your world gets flipped upside down,
Yes, it
but
does.
you are living your truth and you're
Every
living your
time.
dream, and all that hard work, all that sacrifice, everything that you put yourself through to get to that point
That's right.
is definitely going to culminate when finally you hear your name or you get that phone call and it's like, we want to bring you in. What I'm saying to all the athletes who come to the National Scouting Combine is, man, manifest what you want.
Amen.
Because when you turn it into a reality, it is that much more fulfilling.
Absolutely.
So that's why I do this with everybody. I put every athlete on the spot. I get it. The politically correct answer is, I don't care which NFL team calls me, I want the opportunity. But what I'm saying to you is, if you ask me that question, there is only one team that I will play for. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. And everybody who has seen me do this, no, it's the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hey, the Eagles not.
That's my squad.
Come on. I'm
Okay?
telling you, absolutely.
I will be the first to admit, and people will say how crazy every time I say this, I will turn Dallas down in a heartbeat. Okay? But if any of the other teams call me, but I want Philadelphia to call me.
Absolutely.
That's what I want. So that's why I say to y'all, man, because you have worked so hard. You have persevered through so much. You have put yourself in a position to be the best version. You should have that moment of looking out into and walking out of the tunnel of the field of an organization, of a team that you have been, as a fan, a part of.
Seriously.
And be like, yo, I'm living my moment. You know what I mean? That's why I say that.
I fully agree with you, man. Absolutely. It's one of those things where when I do get to that moment, notice I said when, not if. 'Cause
Yes.
I just, you know,
Yes.
my confidence, man, comes from my belief in the Lord. You know, faith has been something that's been a part of my life since I was a kid. Having a love for Jesus Christ, man, and just treating people the right way, doing the things the right way. That's always been the big thing here. And, you know, you got to understand at this level, man, the type of money, opportunities, and distractions, like it can, and we've seen it throw so many people off, man. It takes a certain type of faith and discipline about yourself to be able to show up every day and just be a professional. Being a professional, man, there's a way it looks, and not everybody knows how to do that. However, once again, I think it's a great support system, my mom especially, for just once again continuing to instill the love of God in me and work ethic, man. You know, with those two things, staying on the right path, you know, you still gonna have struggles and this, that, and the third, but
That's
like you
that's
said,
just life.
that resilience, though.
Right.
Not everybody can shake that.
That
from losses.
grit, that determination
Thank
to
you.
remain disciplined and remain focused. That's what makes others excel where
on.
some do stumble. So
Exactly.
Caleb, man, much
Hey,
love.
it's a pleasure, man.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
you.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
Absolutely.
Caleb Schaefer, Eric Wilson, 2025 National Scouting Combine.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle.